live from deep in the heart of Orange County, Florida. Coming at you from LPHQ East. This is Tony with Mac at Disney's Hollywood Studios, making me want to go back to at least 2003, where he would turn around and not see something Star Wars. Mac, what's going on?
It's wet. It is a rainy day here at Hollywood Studios, and there was the combination of getting out of the rain and starting a live stream in this exact spot with you that brought me over here today. So I know you would love to be out here to meet Darth Vader, Chewbacca, and BB-8.
For those who don't know, I am quite the animation diehard, and there's a very, very soft spot for me with the Walt Disney Florida Animation Studio, which is basically right where Mac is and was shuttered a long time ago. But any animation exhibit went out in the mid-2010s to replace it with Star Wars Launch Bay, which is still really a Star Wars museum that hasn't been updated since it opened. Am I right with that? Do you know?
It's definitely been updated because we've got Ray's speeder in there, and I would go in and show you guys that, but the stream will definitely cut out. Anytime you go indoors into a big building like that, the service is not gonna hold up. But they have Ray's speeder in there. They no longer have the pod racer in there, or at least I couldn't find it. It's not not a whole lot of ground to cover in there, so I don't believe that's in there anymore. So they've definitely made some changes, but you're right, it has been there for quite a while. I expected it to be gone when Galaxy's Edge opened up.
I think we all did. And the only thing that's gone is the gift shop, Launch Bay Cargo, which is right there to the right.
Yep.
What 3 movies were made in that studio? Do you know?
No.
Walt Disney Animation Studios. This was originally a production annex, like just to do support, and it would be cool for guests to see. But then they grew and grew and grew and ended up doing 3 full-length animated features in that studio.
And those would be Mulan, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Shrek.
so close. Mulan was one of them. Lilo and Stitch and Brother Bear. They did do the full short Roller Coaster Rabbit, which was the 3rd and final Roger Rabbit short. There.
Oh, okay. So I actually did think there was some sort of connection to Roger Rabbit, so I was right about that. Mulan was the only one I knew.
Let's catch up on some comments. We are live. If you want, comment, ask questions. Just keep us engaged with conversation. We love it. Austin, Disney Hollywood Studios is live. Absolutely is. Thomas Studebaker, great. I don't know what he's talking about with that one. Rebecca wants to know, is it warm and rainy or cold and rainy?
It's cold and rainy. It's not super cold out, like, just a light hoodie and you're comfortable. But, not ideal weather today. And yet, still a pretty busy park. I don't know if you've looked at wait times at all, Tony, but last I saw, it was a 245-minute wait for Rise of the Resistance.
Would you wait that long?
No.
Okay. See, I waited that long because I was under the impression a virtual queue would kind of let me figure out when I would go on. And instead, I ended up waiting 7 hours just at the Riviera Resort on the beach instead of in the park proper.
Well, hey, you could do worse than waiting on the beach at Riviera. No, I will rephrase, though. I wouldn't wait that long because I have been on Rise of the Resistance I don't know how many times. If it's your first time, I mean, that's still a long wait. You're still kind of pushing it there. But I would wait considerably longer than I would for most other rides for that one.
But hey, if that's all you came to Hollywood Studios to experience from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and I really want to ride Rise of the Resistance, at least you have the opportunity to wait and go on the ride, as opposed to being shut out because you didn't have 90 seconds to get that ticket.
That's a fair point.
It's 290. I'm looking at the app right now.
290. Wow.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if that's an indicative of the park being busy or maybe they're like on a reduced capacity operation right now for some reason.
Yeah, I will say some of the other wait times weren't quite as long, but it is still like a 65-minute wait here for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I almost said Rock and Roller Coaster was 15, but I am wrong. Rock and Roller Coaster is closed right now.
Yeah.
The 15 I'm seeing is for the hit show, the fan favorite, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy.
Which I still have not seen.
It'll just make you want to go to Cars Land if you've ever been to Cars Land.
I have, and I love Cars Land. The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror was closed when I got in today. I assume it's up and running again by
It
now.
is running right now, and it's with a 150, which
Ooh,
also
wow.
leads me to believe that um, they might be operationally, like they might be only running one shaft or something.
Very possible.
Because I've
Is
noticed
there
that a lot at
anything?
Tower lately.
Yes. Is there anything in particular we want to see today? We don't really have, as far as I know, we don't really have an objective for this park today. Just kind of bringing some Disney magic to the people at home.
It's been a while, and yeah, on a rainy day when people might not want to go to the park, you're doing it for them, and we're very appreciative of that, Mech.
Listen, this is a very hard job. It doesn't get as much credit as it deserves.
Well, let's head down Sunset Boulevard. Doobie's getting ahead of me. He says Skyliner. I was thinking for that maybe a little later, maybe. But right now, let's head down Sunset Boulevard. Doobie also saying 245 minutes. Virtual queue is needed. If you didn't have it at the old normal times of like 7 a.m., you can't implement it because that's how you get a 245-minute line at guest relations. Rebecca points out it's President's Day weekend, so lots of out-of-towners who just can't who can't just opt to stay home due to weather.
Yes, no, it's definitely true. It is a holiday weekend. All of the parks have been busy all weekend long, and yeah, definitely a lot of guests from out of town.
Steven says, hello, everyone from Cheyenne, Wyoming. I think I've asked this before, Steven. Do you mean hello to everybody who's currently in Cheyenne, Wyoming? Or are you yourself in Cheyenne, Wyoming saying hello?
Steven, if Tony is going to be the host, you got to be specific because he's going to call it out.
Doobie wants to call out that your job is not hard either. I think he was laying the sarcasm on pretty thick there, Doobie. Don't worry about it. We'll move on.
Well, yeah, I would hope that Doobie can pick up on my sarcasm by now.
I'm seeing a little thing bouncing above the camera frame. Do you have an umbrella right now?
We have the umbrella,
there it is.
yes.
Okay, all right. I didn't know. So are you umbrella versus poncho?
I am umbrella versus poncho for mostly for the reason of the fact that I'm carrying a gimbal, and that also needs to be protected from the rain.
That's fair.
And if I protected it with a poncho, you guys probably wouldn't see very much.
I don't like I'm an umbrella guy myself. I don't like the poncho because, especially in the heat of Florida summers with the rain, it just becomes equally as wet on the inside because of how bad you start sweating. It's just a vinyl blanket. Kyle wants to point out that your job is very tough. He's defending you because you've just had a hard 4 days of fishing, playing golf, and eating dinners.
Yes, I did. Thank you, Kyle.
So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we were here for the, I got to try and remember the whole name of the event now. The Disney Sports and Great Outdoors Media event, where we checked out a lot of the recreation offerings. And yesterday we actually got a tour of the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex, which, most Disney fans are aware of its presence. You don't, until you go and check out the whole facility, you don't understand the scale of that complex over there. There is just so much land being used there for that complex. There's so many different fields and facilities. It's incredible. So we're going to have more coverage of that in the coming days, weeks, and for the rest of the time. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it was a really cool experience.
Now, when you said it covers a lot of land, the other day we talked about potential Disney's biggest wastes of space at Walt Disney World. Would you say that about Wide World of Sports?
No, definitely not. So we happened to be there during a soccer tournament, a youth soccer tournament. At any given moment, there were 40 soccer games happening at one time.
Wow.
So they really used that space to its full potential. And on top of that, there was a gymnastics tournament happening in the I believe it's just called the Arena. No, Advent Health Arena, I believe is the name of it now. So yeah, there's multiple events going on. There's a lot of really cool things happening over there. We learned that the events can be live or are live streamed online. So families who can't get out to watch their child, playing their sports or participating in any capacity, can at least watch from home. So
That's
they do
awesome.
a lot of really cool stuff over there.
A little behind the scenes magic. I was setting up Mac because I knew he wouldn't say that. It's called a conversational segue. So those of you coming at me in the comments can all calm down.
I can hear the comments attacking you right now, Tony.
Lewis is saying probably something you'll agree with. The weather stinks.
It does. Yeah, it's not great.
But you know what? This is the exact type of weather I would love to ride Tower of Terror in.
I would agree with that, yes.
As you've been walking, I've been watching the elevator shafts, and it looks like there's only one going. Hold on, hold on the tower for a second.
Open.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me move over a little bit so you can see the other shaft. Yeah, I'm seeing that one open repeatedly.
Yep.
And then the left side is hasn't moved that I've noticed, at least.
And what were you saying? I'm sorry, I kind of talked over you with that.
Oh, no, I was just pointing out the queue for Tower of Terror is right there. So that's how you know it's a pretty long wait.
Yep.
And you can see 150-minute posted wait time right now. So, yeah, definitely don't see that other shaft opening.
Yeah, if that other shaft were open, that would be probably a 70, maybe a little over an hour. Or more, actually, because they have two other shafts open to load and unload. So.
Okay, yeah, okay. I was going to say, going back to our simple math show, I would have just cut that wait time in half, doubling the capacity of the attraction.
As for devotees who joined us the other day for Magic Kingdom, our math show was ordered to pilot, but the pilot did not get picked up by Laughing Place, and we're shopping it around. Even though the people at Laughing Place launched into a full discussion of ride math. I don't know if
I did see there was
this is some Patreon coverage coming at you free here. Just numbers being thrown out. We're talking about the possibilities on Star Tours. We were talking about what constitutes a single ride versus two different rides, like the Matterhorn in California or Space Mountain in Florida, because it's two separate tracks, but it's still the same complex. But yes, so it's potential. I don't know why LP passed on it, but either way, top bidder right now is TLC, and I do believe Discovery Plus wants it as an exclusive as well. So.
I like the idea that there's a top bidder, but we're still shopping it, as if we wouldn't jump on the first offer that came from anyone.
Then we'll go to TLC. I'm sorry. We'll air right after Dr. Pimple Popper. Doobie wants to know, how many rides are at Wide World of Sports?
How many rides are at Wide World of Sports? Well, so based on that conversation, actually, we learned that it has to have ride in the title to be considered a ride. Otherwise, it's an attraction. No, there are. It's not a theme park. There's no attractions at Wide World of Sports. It is a sports complex. You're going to go and watch not only youth sports, though. Actually, one of the things they talked about a lot was the NBA bubble. During 2020, when the NBA season picked back up in the Disney bubble, that's where it took place. That gymnastics event I was talking about was taking place on the floor where the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA championship. So. And they pointed out, youth athletes who get to play and perform at these complexes use the same locker rooms, use the same facilities as professional athletes. So, again, really cool experience for a young athlete.
Do me a favor and go right and go into that store on your right.
Into Sunset?
Yep.
Okay.
Kyle wants to point out he doesn't think we can be on TLC knowing their policy on scrubs. Listen, I don't know if they aired that Zach Braff show or what, but I thought that was NBC
I just know
and ABC.
I don't want no scrubs, so.
Yeah. What is a scrub?
I don't want to go all the way into the lyrics.
Okay,
I'll leave that up to Kyle.
A scrub is a guy who thinks I don't remember the rest of it. What is this? Let's have a look at these things. I see some Wally plush. I've definitely seen that Knick-Knack shirt.
Yes, I've seen the Knick-Knack one. I haven't seen this Toy Story shirt before.
That's fun.
Now, are you like me, and do you still smell all Lotso merchandise, hoping it's going
Yes.
to smell like strawberries? Okay.
Yes, and I'll go a little deeper. I do it with Bing Bong as well. Anything Bing Bong's
Update.
on, because he's supposed to smell like cotton candy.
Right. This shirt does not smell like strawberries.
Okay.
Oh, I like this Pizza Planet shirt, too. This is also new to me.
I've just seen that red one. I can't remember if I've seen the one with the sketched aliens on it, though. That's fun.
Yeah, that's the one I mean. I've definitely seen the red one, too. And by the way, I apologize. I can't go too deep into the store just because I can't close my umbrella with one hand.
Oh, yep, you're fine. Let's, yeah. We could head out. Kyle says it's also, a scrub is also known as a busta. All right, so we're learning with Mac in the rain by himself. Outdoors only, which is kind of ironic. Rebecca,
Yes.
I'm so sorry I missed this corner. I'm reading the comment as I'm talking about it. There's a great coffee stand right around that corner, too. I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
Huh. I would actually really like an answer to that because unless she's just like, being sarcastic and talking about Starbucks. But
Okay.
if there is a good coffee stand over on Sunset, I'd be happy to know about that because I would happily grab some coffee.
Rebecca points out, because as a reminder, we do have lots of Pixar Place hotel coverage from California. Be sure to check it out on laughingplace.com. But she was the one who helped out with that. She didn't get close enough to discover if Bing Bong smelled of cotton candy at the Pixar Place hotel. As long as he cried candy, that's fine. Can we go to the statue right there to your right for a second?
Yeah.
When we announced our live stream today and it was scheduled up, I did refer to it as the Hollywood that never was and always will be, but I couldn't remember if I got the phrasing on that quite right. Let's have a look at that plaque. Matt, can you read it for me?
It is wet, so it is kind of... Wait, this is a different plaque. Hang on.
Different plaque. The one right there. There you go.
Yeah, here you go. The world you have entered was created by the Walt Disney Company and is dedicated to Hollywood, not a place on the map, but a state of mind that exists wherever people dream and wonder and imagine, a place where illusion and reality are fused by technological magic. We welcome you to the Hollywood that never was and always will be.
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars. And Toy Story.
And Toy Story, yes. Rebecca says she wasn't going to make Bing Bong cry, Tony. I'll leave that to you. Bing Bong makes me cry.
Yeah. It's only fair to make him cry in return.
Yeah. All right, let's head to Echo Lake. I still call this Min and Bill's Dockside Diner. I don't know if that's still the official name. I've
actually
like
only known it as Dockside Diner, so I'm not sure. I think it's just Dockside Diner.
Kyle points out, so I had the wrong conjunction, but otherwise nailed it. I did not take my trip to that junction. I did not know my function. Mr. Bob Newell wants to know what's happening at D23. Do you mean the big ultimate event in Anaheim later this year, Bob, or a random D23 event coming up? Either way, we don't know. The big one. Yeah, either way, we don't know.
Yeah,
as most of that kind of stuff is hushed and kept under wraps. Hold for a second right here. That's a good view.
Oh, there we go. With this Disney duck just hanging out, enjoying a rainy day.
Doobie points out a good question, and I'd like you to investigate this as we get over there. Is Indy canceled for the rain? In the rain, yeah. I have experienced it where it's not canceled. It's a modified show. So really all you'll get is the boulder roll. And then anything further back is not shown.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because then they're not undercover anymore.
Yeah.
I did hear some guests assuming it would be canceled in the rain. The rain has picked up. It was much lighter. I've been here for a little over an hour, and it was much lighter at that moment. And I would have thought at that point the show would still go. But right now it has picked up. It might be a little bit tougher to do.
I'm checking the app now for any updates, which is one of the cool things about the Walt Disney World app is you can do it from anywhere. Whereas I've been playing with the Disney Cruise Line app for reasons, and I can't do anything. I can't see tentative schedules and maybe have some kind of working plan until you get on the ship.
I wanted to stop right here for just a second, just to issue a plea to Disney. We know you're watching. You're always watching. So if we could get food back at the TuneIn Lounge, so I can just stop in and get a peanut butter and jelly milkshake at any time. Please, that'd be great.
Can you not order them from the bar anymore?
You cannot, because they do not offer any of the food services. So all you can get is a drink from the bar.
Wow. You know what I would like in the TuneIn Lounge also? The seating to come back. The seating to come back. That was my favorite theme park bar, at least at Disney. And then they took out all like the Dad's Den seating.
Yes, yeah, okay. I was gonna say I thought there were still seats at the bar there, but no, yeah, I know what you mean. So it looks like, I mean, I don't know what time the next show is supposed to be, but it looks closed to me based on the cast members.
The app says the next show time's at 3:15.
Okay, so it would be a little bit before they would make any sort of decision on that anyway.
It might have been canceled, though, because it also said there's a 1:15. And I feel like if modified, it would be going on now.
Right.
Unless it's delayed. But everything on the app is showing 3:15.
No, yeah, there were no guests in the theater. I almost said stadium. I've been having a big sports weekend.
Mr. Bob Newell has a good question. Do rain parkas outnumber umbrellas?
Ooh. I would say so, but I think it's close. Especially are we talking only like Disney parks ponchos here, or are we talking all rain jackets?
That's a question for Mr. Bob Newell. Mr. Bob Newell.
Because if it's the Disney parks ponchos, I think it's very close. Otherwise, no, there's a lot more people that are.
Well, then poncho. Would Disney parks umbrellas have to be their own entity as well?
No, that's fair. That's fair. And I do see, as you said that, we walked right by two Disney parks umbrellas, but.
I feel like Disney parks umbrellas are more rare than Disney parks ponchos.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Rebecca pointing out a link in our comments with the current wait times at laughingplace.com, which Kyle says is an even better resource for wait times.
Yeah, I would say so. We just need Doobie to get that LP app up and running.
Yes, that is one thing I get a lot of feedback on, is that laughingplace.com is a fantastic resource. We just need some mobile accessibility.
Totally joking, by the way. I don't anticipate an LP app anytime soon, at least not that I'm aware of. 25-minute wait, by the way, for Star Tours, so not too bad.
Doobie says, we need Mac to get all the way off my back about the app.
Doobie dropping the pitch meeting reference. I like it. Doobie, I would think making an app would be super easy, barely an inconvenience, but, that's just me.
Well, what's up ahead, Mac?
This would be Baseline Tap House, and if you saw our thumbnail before today's live stream started, Tony's idea, and I will give him all the credit for it, I definitely did not come up with this myself, was for me to start off at Baseline Tap House, after a few drinks, get this walk and talk going. But if you do enjoy an adult beverage and you have not been to Baseline Tap House, you're missing out. It is one of my favorite theme park bars.
Can we walk in and just take a look real quick, or at least look in the doorway? I forgot about your umbrella. I'm sorry. Because it has a really cool aesthetic to it.
It does. I love this this building here. Let's see.
devotees and fans of Disney's Hollywood Studios back to the Disney MGM Studios days might remember this location as the Writer's Stop, a bookstore loosely themed to, I believe, the Ellen sitcom.
Oh, that's a deep
Turn
cut.
can you can you turn around just a little bit? Because there's some wall art I would like to point out.
Some wall art. Are we talking?
So go back
Sci-Fi
towards the
Diner
door.
or-
Go back towards the
Okay.
door.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And by the book. I think by the book was the Ellen reference. And then straight ahead. There it is. This wall art's actually really frustrating to me for some reasons too. Because all they did was take California Adventure's red car trolley poster and switch out the towers.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, Doobie points out it was by the book before Writer's Stop, which makes me believe that that was the Ellen reference. Now, coming up overhead, it was just announced the other day that there's going to be a new snack location coming into Muppets Courtyard, and it looks like
Yeah, there you go.
we have the full signage up there.
Ice cold
Hydraulics.
hydraulics.
Yep. Kyle wants to know, do they
Suspension.
serve Pacifico at Baseline?
You know, I don't think so. They do a lot of craft beers at Baseline. So if you're a beer connoisseur, then you're gonna find some good stuff in there.
Well, let's head back into Muppet Courtyard. Rebecca waxing a little nostalgic over here, which is totally fine by me. It had an awesome Butterfinger-inspired cookie.
I like the
Is that a thing you would try, Mac?
Oh, 100%. But I like the almost legal speak from Rebecca to call it a Butterfinger-inspired cookie. Can't be a Butterfinger cookie.
Better
Not
get
without a
your
licensing
fingers
agreement.
off my Butterfinger-inspired treat.
You know what I missed in old, and we're completely just going off on a tangent here. Do you remember Butterfinger BBs?
Yes.
Oh, so
What
good.
do you mean miss? Are they gone now?
So,
Oh, I've lost them. There he goes. We were
I
so
haven't seen
shocked
those
by
in
the
years.
Butterfinger BB news. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Nestle Crunch has the little
Bunch of
clusters.
Crunch.
Bunch of
Yes.
Crunch. Thank you. Yes.
Muppet Vision, 10-minute wait.
She wants to
Mostly
clarify
because-
she didn't say that because it didn't have Butterfingers in it, just the flavor palette.
Okay, gotcha.
Muppet Vision's 10 minutes. Shocked. That theater's huge though. It's designed to handle crowds.
Yeah.
Have you seen it
Tony,
since they updated it with the projection mapping and stuff?
I have not. I haven't seen it in, I don't know, a couple of years probably.
Because we always fear for it. Its location,
Yeah.
it seems that its days are always numbered.
Right.
Morgan and I made a point for viewers, that's my wife, made it a point to go recently, and I'm glad they put money in it. That like the effects are restored, and that they had the LN2 and like the fog effects that were back. It was very pretty, and I was happy to see it in that state.
Yeah, I mean, I love Muppet Vision 3D. It's just, not something we do very often.
Go further back. Go towards Mama Melrose's.
Okay. I was going to ask you over here, by the way, what are your thoughts on Pizza Rizzo?
Looks good.
It's good, but
Well, it's wrapped
I like
pizza,
it.
but-
It's not my first place to go, but it's nice to have that there.
Okay. It's not one that I go to very often. I'll just leave it at that.
Would you go if it were Pizza Planet?
For nostalgia and fun purposes, probably, yeah. But that was essentially the same food. This is new to me, by the way. These like sort of window displays we've got here.
I think those came with Jollywood because they did a meet and greet there, I believe. I might be mistaken on that. I mean, I wasn't the one who covered it, so I don't know. But I think that's where they had Duffy in that area.
Okay.
Doobie says he loves Pizza Rizzo because of upstairs. Sound off in the comments. Let us know. Would you do would you like Pizza Planet back, or are you good with Pizza Rizzo? It's basically the same food. Let's not kid ourselves. But yeah,
Yes, agreed. I will say I am a bit of a pizza snob. First off, all pizza is good pizza. Pizza can't be bad.
well, hey
But
Mac,
I'm a
where
bit
are
of
you
a.
from?
I'm from New Jersey, so that
Okay,
would
there you go.
yeah.
Okay.
So a bit of a pizza snob for sure. And I will say you can get good pizza on property. There are at least a couple of good places to get some good pizza.
Like,
Pizza Rizzo would not be one of them. I would say Via Napoli
okay.
in Epcot. Specifically, I just go to the pizza window when it's open. And Pizza Ponte over in Disney Springs.
I
Also
really
very good.
like Pizza Ponte. I'm not gonna lie about
Yes,
that.
it
Yeah.
is good.
Kyle, starting the pot, stirring. Pizza can't be bad unless it's in Chicago.
Well, no, that's still not true because that's not pizza.
And that's exactly what Kyle said. Wait, that's not pizza.
Yeah, there you go. I from afar, I thought this was a SpongeBob ad, and I was very confused for a second.
We think that all the time. All the time. Every time we walk back there. Why is SpongeBob? Oh, wait, that's right. Uh-oh. Do be coming in. Via Napoli is so overrated.
So I've never eaten at Via Napoli, like the actual restaurant. I've just gotten pizza from the pizza window, and it's good. It's good pizza. I just last night I tried Tutto Italia for the first time, and that was very good. That's also in the Italy Pavilion in Epcot.
I have not had that one. I've had Via Napoli. I've done sit down at Via Napoli. It's pretty on the inside, but
Yes,
go
beautiful
back
restaurant.
Whoa, I should have just went to the window once I get that checked. But
all right, I will leave this decision up to you here.
Okay.
Do we want to head right back up towards the front of the park for Skyliner potential, or do we want to head left into Galaxy's Edge and disappear into a different planet?
we can go left.
Okay.
We'll give the people what they want.
Which is what Tony is all about.
On a live stream, yes.
No.
Unless you're Mike at Disneyland. Mike Celestino, our LA correspondent. When I do live streams together, he knows my thoughts on Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. Which bluntly is it doesn't belong there. And
a shocking take from you, Tony.
Yeah, he'll do his best to skirt it, unless there's something going on that we need to see. Kyle says, if Tony's having theme park Italian, he's going to his own restaurant, and that's true. We actually did that the other night. So,
I will say I've never eaten at Tony's Town Square, so
it's pretty good.
All right, Tony, I will just be quiet from here on out. I will let you tell the people all about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, all of the fun Star Wars facts.
Hey, do you like Star Wars? Do you like all the movies in the Star Wars canon? Like, I mean, all of them. Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, Episode 4, Episode 5.
Tony, I'm going to need you to back
6.
up and name the titles of all of those films.
Episode 1 is The Phantom Menace. Episode 2 is Attack of the Clones. Episode 3 is Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, you're good
Episode
so far.
4 is A New Hope. Episode 5 is The Empire Strikes Back. Episode 6 is Return of the Jedi. Episode 7 is The Force Awakens. Episode 8 is The Last Jedi.
Correct.
And episode 9 is
Forgettable. It's okay.
Revenge of Skywalker, Return of Skywalker,
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. That's right, because I get it confused with the ride.
Right. I will give you that. That is, you passed. You've passed our test, and you can be our friend.
And then there's the spin-offs, and if you like all of those movies, and I mean all of them, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the place to be because it is nothing but little details referencing all of them in a completely new Star Wars story. Do you want to see the Endor Forest? Leave Galaxy's Edge and head to Star Tours. Do you want to see the icy planet Hoth? You're out of luck unless you're on Star Tours and randomly get that one. So I don't. Galaxy's Edge, it's great. You know, you're on the I almost said the island. I'm thinking of another park down the street. You're on the planet Batu on the edge of the galaxy's rim, something like that. I don't know. Where's Mike? I need direct conversations with Mike right now.
I'm glad you were a trooper and you powered through all of that. So thank you.
Yes. But if you want to visit Galaxy's Edge yourself, Mac, why don't you talk a little bit about our friends at Mouse Fan Travel?
Well, I think you pretty much just said it, but mousefantravel.com. I know you're really just setting me up to stall a little bit while you find the banner. There it is.
I had it.
Mousefantravel.com. Okay. Yeah, so our friends at mousefantravel.com can plan your next. Look, planning a Walt Disney World resort vacation almost requires a degree in Disney travel at this point. So let them take all of the stress out of that for you. It's no additional cost to you. Makes it so much easier. Again, mousefantravel.com. Let them start planning your next Walt Disney World resort vacation.
Mousefantravel.com. Rebecca, wait, do either of you like Star Wars? This is hurting my heart.
I love Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan, yeah. There have been some films and some series that I was not a huge fan of. But overall, yeah, no, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
I don't know if we've talked about this before. I know I've talked about it with Mike. I used to be a big Star Wars fan, 1 through 6. And then 7 hit. And at the time I was working in the parks, and I was at that Launch Bay gift shop we talked about earlier in the stream today. And that loop is about 9 minutes long in terms of the music.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, for 40 hours a week for a year and a half, when you're just exposed and drowning in Star Wars and Star Wars and Star Wars and Star Wars, you just get a little taste for it. On top of the fact that you're already in a place that you wish you worked in a different form, because that was the animation studio. And now you're working in a gift shop dedicated to what took it over, which was also something you used to like, and it's being force fed down your throat. What I would always say is, you know, what's your favorite meal? Oh, I like chicken parm. Now imagine eating chicken parm for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 years straight.
I don't know. Peyton Manning seems to be fine with it.
Well, he's been concussed more times than anybody else.
That's fair.
I just got a message privately. They just beat Star Wars out of you, didn't they? They sure did. Kyle wants to point out there are several canon references to Batu, which is true. Yes.
Yeah, I know there have been books and comics for quite a while now. I don't know if I've missed any more recent references, but.
And Mac, you are our tries a thing guy. You can see plenty of these videos of him trying things on YouTube. So Doobie asks a very appropriate question. What's your favorite food or drink in Batu?
Ooh, that is difficult. I had to give 2 different answers. So my favorite food would be the Ronto wrap, specifically the breakfast Ronto wrap, which we walked through Ronto Roasters. I couldn't show you guys too much because it is a partially indoor establishment, and it was very crowded in there, and I still had my umbrella, so it was a little bit difficult. But yeah, if you haven't tried a Ronto wrap, highly recommend that. And then as for drinks, I mentioned earlier that Baseline Tap House is one of my favorite theme park bars, and it's probably my second favorite in this park because Oga's Cantina has got to be my favorite anywhere. Choosing
Would
a
you call
drink,
Oga's
though,
Cantina a bar? I feel like it's more of a club. Everybody's standing around. You've got the DJ spinning those hot tunes.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. Bar, club, whatever you want to call it. Either way, that's where you're going to get my favorite drink in Batu, which I think I'd have to say is the Jet Juice, which is a bourbon drink. I believe it's bourbon, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, that one.
So is it safe to say you're a fan of the Jets?
No, it is not safe to say that in any capacity. No.
Okay, well, so I thought you liked their juice. They got the
No.
juice. Oh,
So does porn. But I'm not a fan of the band porn. So
that was probably the last food item I could think of you saying was corn.
that's fine. I know at least Kyle got that reference.
Kyle points out it is a cantina. Yes, it is a cantina.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Which
I
I
thought
don't know
I
what
said
that fits under.
I thought I
the
said
bar
try
or
a thing
club.
guy because he said not a try guy, a try a thing guy. Very different and legally distinct.
Yes, very much so. I have not been the subject of an SNL sketch
Now,
recently. Not that I'm aware of, at least.
Turn left and let's look at where, because
Yeah.
back in the day, for a very limited time, was a huge $1 billion adventure. And I say that because that's how much people paid to do it. Not really. That's an exaggeration. The Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. And there's rumors that there's been some activity going on. Is there anything noticeable going on over here?
Not that I've seen. And actually, for the first time in a while, I drove past the former entrance today. And no, I did not see any movement or activity of any sort. Of course, it is a Sunday on a holiday weekend, and it's raining and has been raining for like 48 hours. So not shocking that there's no activity happening right now. But yeah, it didn't seem like there was anything going on.
Kyle points out he's heard that that's where you check in for the private photo sessions now.
That does make sense. And I do see a cast member over here with a laptop, seemingly ready to check guests in for experiences. And speaking of photo sessions, there is a photo op over here at night where you can get your photo with an array of lightsabers, and no pun intended on array, but they occasionally have the dark saber out there. If you have not held that thing, it is so cool.
Now, is
Tony, even as someone who's not a Star Wars fan in any way, I highly recommend going and getting that photo because those things are awesome.
Well, I was always under the impression a dark saber is a lightsaber that wasn't turned on.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, everyone. Thanks for joining us from Hollywood Studios.
As we get about halfway through the park, though, I will say, if you're a fan of content like this, be sure to please like, subscribe, ring that bell, get notified whenever we go live. We're always doing something here at laughingplace.com, whether it be hosting trivia, talking about the latest, greatest merchandise, or just walking through a park.
Always a fun time. I can't feel my hands at this point, but, otherwise, all good.
I know today would be hard because A, you're on the phone streaming with us now, and B, you've got the umbrella in your hand. But Rebecca points out she loves playing with the app in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Because of all the little stuff you could trigger. Do you do the Datapad a lot? Do you say Datapad or Datapad?
I feel like typically I would say the word data, but it sounds better as Datapad for some reason. I don't know what that is. But no, I did the Datapad when Galaxy's Edge first opened, and haven't really gone back to it in quite a while. So
I've done it and it was fun. I'm more of a DuckTales World Showcase Adventure guy. Shocker.
To the surprise of no one.
Yeah. That one's a lot of fun. Normally this wall has PhotoPass people in front of it too, but I'm guessing they've been pulled because of the inclement weather.
Yeah, there's no coverage from the rain over here, so no photo ops right now.
And from Star Wars, we're traveling, I don't know how many light years. It's not Avatar. I don't even know if that's how they measure it.
But Buzz Lightyears?
Yes, Buzz Lightyears too. Toy Story Land, Andy's backyard. Now, me and some friends got into a talk about this the other day, because this is what we do in our spare time. It's just debate theme park design. If this was Andy's backyard, why are there references to like Trixie and Dolly and all of Bonnie's toys?
Well, what you have to understand is this is Andy's backyard, but set in the time period between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. So that would explain why some characters are present and others are not. Yeah. No, I understand. I've heard that argument multiple times. And
because we're all toys, right? In Andy's backyard, who cares for their toys better? Sid, who keeps them indoors and under his watchful eye, or Andy, who has just now thrown them all amok into the backyard to the point where they're running a restaurant without any kind of zoning or coding for other toys.
I don't know who would be in charge of zoning for other toys, but yeah, no, I mean, I still give the edge to Andy just because he hasn't blown any of his toys up.
That's what I said.
So.
I was like, well, he straps rockets to them.
And
Mr.
rockets
Bob Newell,
explode.
what's this I hear about number 5? Exactly that. We've heard about number 5. That's all
I don't
we
even know what we're talking about. So
Toy Story 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There
that's exactly it. It has been mentioned by Bob Iger
Yes.
and some folks at Pixar. That is it.
Yeah, I have no other
Now,
no theories or anything to kick in on that.
in the same vein of the Andy's Backyard thing, we said, because now they have the adult-centric Jollywood Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios, what if they did Sid's Backyard as an extra ticket Halloween party kind of thing? I'm down for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm all for any Halloween-related event or content they want to have in Walt Disney World. I think it would be awesome.
I always felt that not really. I always felt there could be a middle ground between Mickey's Not So Scary and Halloween Horror Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I agree.
Think the closest they ever got was the Goosebumps Horrorland Fright Show.
Yes. Which, Goosebumps, successful Disney Plus franchise again, season 2 happening. So, bring it back.
Give us some Slappy, which is the name of the ventriloquist dummy for those who don't know.
He is not welcoming people to walk up to him in Walt Disney World and slap him. Although many on the Laughing Place staff would recommend doing that to Tony.
And I've parked for about a decade. Yeah, I get a lot of slaps.
And that is how you invite them typically, right? You say, give us some slappy.
No, not at all. But it will be now.
Makes sense.
What's your highest score on Toy Story Midway Mania?
I actually just had a conversation about this like a week ago, and I don't know off the top of my head. I know it's somewhere in the 300,000 range. I am not someone who has figured out all the secrets on Toy Story Mania. So, yeah, it's not the highest score. What about you, Tony? Have you maxed out?
Oh, God, no. I barely know. So there's mini games hidden within each mini game.
Yeah. And I know
that
I don't know.
Maybe 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The best one being the alien one.
Okay. We might have to talk about this after a live stream, I think.
But because of that, I think my highest is only like 350,000.
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit lower than that. I will say
we'll talk about it on the stream. We'll call them insider pro tips. On the alien game, if you get your rings around the aliens to all go down at once, you have to work with the person. Don't go against them. You have to work with the other person. And you get those all to go down. A robot pops up and opens its giant mouth, and then you just fire all the rings into it, and you just rack up points.
It's good to know. All right.
Yeah, and Kyle says that's the one he has done as well. Yeah. And I know on the dinosaur one, if you do the asteroids and get them to hit on both sides, again, it's best to work with the person, not against them. The volcano erupts, and all these balloons at I think it's 1,000-point value start coming down and pouring down out of the volcano, and you just hit those again and again and again. So,
yeah, that one I was aware of. I didn't even realize that was all that much of a secret. But yeah, that's the one where I can rack up some points.
I saw the billboard. I have to ask you, even though I probably know the answer to it. Did you see Wish?
I have not seen Wish.
Yeah,
no.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. All of you guys waiting for it to come to Disney Plus. Because Disney basically has said, no, you could buy it on digital and you could buy it on Blu-ray on March 11th, I believe. but it's not coming to Disney Plus as of yet. There's no date, so and it's
Right.
still
Well,
in some
you know what?
theaters.
If they put it on Disney Plus a year from now, I will watch it then.
Yeah.
No, I did want to see it. I haven't gotten to movie theaters in quite a while, so I definitely don't go very frequently anymore.
It's now real quick. Walt Disney Presents behind you. Has that already closed for refurbishment? Because I know it's about to close for refurbishment, or is it still
No,
open?
it is open right now and has
Okay.
a Percy Jackson behind the scenes.
Which has been there for a
exhibit.
little bit now. I do
Yeah.
believe we have coverage of that on
Yes.
laughingplace.com. I would happily put a link to that coverage if it weren't for the fact that opening that page would possibly kill this stream. So, because my computer is running a little slow today, and for that I apologize.
Well,
head over to
on that
laughingplace.com.
topic, actually, Tony, we are going to have to wrap things up soon because technology is beginning to fail me, and I will not be able to hear you for much longer. So,
oh no, I was hoping we would exit the park and end the ride with a quick Skyliner ride, but that's fine. We don't have to do that. So let's head down to the crossroads of the world, which for whatever reason is not at any kind of crossroad because it's only at the foot of Hollywood Boulevard.
It's kind of a cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
the cul-de-sac of the world.
Of the castle of the theater projection shows that they do, they have the live action one, Disney Movie Magic, and of course the Wonderful World of Magic of Animation. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm mixing all my Disney superlatives. Do you prefer the live action or the animated one?
I prefer Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's I say projection show, not fireworks show. They don't do those anymore. Unless you pay the extra admission for Jollywood.
Right. No, I do miss the old Star Wars show they used to do over there, which again was like a fireworks show, but really enjoyed that one. I don't know.
I remember I saw that one, and it was back when the backlot was still there, the Streets of America. Yeah. And they left it open. I don't know why. During that fireworks show, and the way the artificial facades bounced the explosion noises off of them was terrifying. And I remember, like, because they were launched from fairly close to that area at that point in time. They have since moved to the other side of World Drive. And I just remember backing up in fear against one of the facades and felt the whole thing shaking. And that was when I thought, why am I allowed to be walking back here right now?
Yeah. They did a really cool bit in that show where it was just the sound of Darth Vader breathing, and they had these red LED lights in the trees, and those would sync up to the breathing. It was an awesome effect. So that was a cool show. Of the two that you provided, though, I mean, I have to say the live action one because there are Doctor Strange.
You hate me?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, it's because you hate me.
No, listen, we have representation from two different sides here. So, yeah, I had to back up mine as you would back up yours.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy, it goes heavy on the baby Groot because it was definitely around for volume 2.
It does, and I do actually prefer the Doctor Strange bit. Just him saying "Dormammu, I've come to bargain," hits pretty strong when they when that show.
I also love the effect they do with him as well, with the separation of all the bricks and everything.
Yes, that is really cool.
In terms of I in the live action one, I really like the Tron segment.
That is cool, also. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us on our wonderful live stream from a very wet and very rainy Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World in Florida. Again, if you like content like this, be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell, get notified whenever we go live from the parks or have any one of our regular programs, which we have a full slate coming at you next week. We got Barely Necessities, our live Disney merchandise show. Normally on Tuesdays, but I believe on this week it's on Wednesday. And then our Disney Parks Talk Live will also be on Tuesday, pushed a day back from our usual Wednesday. Disney Trivia Live on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. And just remember, get notified. We do this all the time, coming at from the parks here in Florida or the parks in California. If you're not getting notified, you don't know where we're going. Mac, any last words?
No, I'll just say one more time that keep an eye out for the coverage of some of the sports and recreation
Yes.
offerings here at Walt Disney World. We'll have some of that coming. We don't know exactly when just yet, but it'll be coming. And we'll have some more coverage of that in the future. There's a lot of cool stuff to do at Walt Disney World that a lot of people don't think about. So we'll definitely be shining a light on that a little bit more often now.
We're all looking forward to that and seeing your golf scores in photo form.
Golf scores were not great, so don't get too excited about that.
That's what I'm most excited about. From Disney's Hollywood Studios, so long, everybody.
Bye.